Bandeham Shri Guru Shiyata Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rapam Sagrajatam Saganaragunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sabadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Paran Sahagana Lalita Shivishikam Vitamscha Om Jnana Timarandasya Gyanajana Shilakaya Chakshuram Militam Yena Tasma Shri Gurave Namah Gurva Bhishtam Supurakam Gurganara Sisha Sambhushitam Chintya Chintya Samasta Veda Nipanam Shri Rupa Patanugam Govinda Bidam Ujwalam Varatanum Bhaktyan Vidam Sundaram Bande Vishwagurun Shah Divyad Bhagavat Premna Vibija Pradam Devam Divyatanum Suchandabaranam Balarka Chelanchitam Sandrananda Puram Sadeka Varanam Vairagya Vidyambudim Sri Siddhanta Nidhim Subhakti Lasitam Saraswatanam Varam Banditam Shivaram Madeka Sharanam Nyashishvara Sridharam Vanchakopatarubhyascha Kripasindu Bhyevacha Patitanam Pavenebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratavishe Namah. So we're continuing with our readings from the Sri Sikshastakam by Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Dev-Goswami Maharaj. This is the second of the Sikshastakam, and this chapter is entitled Unlimited Names of God. Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatrarpita Niyamita Smaranena Kala Etadrishi Tavakripa Bhagavan Mamapi Durdaiva Midrisham Ihajani Nanuraga Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatrarpita Niyamita Smaranena Kala Etadrishi Dhavakripa Bhagavan Mamapi Durdaiva Midrisham Ihajani Nanuraga. Translation. O my Lord, your holy name bestows auspiciousness upon all, and you have unlimited names such as Krishna and Govinda, by which you reveal yourself. In your many holy names you have kindly invested all your transcendental potency, and in chanting these names there are no strict rules concerning time or place. Out of your causeless mercy you have descended in the form of divine sound, but my great misfortune is that I have no love for your holy name. Illumination. Here it is said, O my Lord, you have revealed the chanting of your holy names, and all your power has been invested within those names. Both the holy name of Krishna and its potency are eternal. All potencies or energies are found within the holy name of Krishna, and there is no particular time or place which has been fixed for chanting the name. It is not that one can only chant in the morning, or only after taking bath, or only after going to a holy place. There are no such conditions. One may go on chanting the holy name of Krishna anytime, anywhere, in any circumstance. In this verse, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, O Krishna, you have given a most sublime opportunity to all. You are so infinitely gracious that you have given us the service of your holy name, Namabhajan. Still, my misfortune is the worst. I don't find any earnest desire within me to take the name. I have no faith, no love, no tendency to take the name. I do not find any innate hankering to chant the name. What can I do? This is the second of Sriman Mahaprabhu's 8 precepts. He says, O Lord, you have given everything from your side to lift me up from this mundane world of relativity. Your attempt to deliver me is so magnanimous that all you require from me is a little cooperation in accepting your grace, but I turn a deaf ear to your magnanimous call. O Lord, I am hopeless. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us great hope in the first verse of his Sikshastakam, or 8 precepts. He explains that the chanting of the holy name of Krishna, when properly undertaken, may progress step by step, revealing 7 consequences. The first effect is the cleansing of consciousness. The second is liberation from all mundane relativity. As the third effect, Positive goodness awakens within our heart and takes us to Vrindavan. Then under the guidance of Swarup Shakti, the Lord's internal energy, Yogamaya, we come to the Vadu conception. We are potency. We are to serve Krishna unconditionally. Vadu means the rasa, which gives full connection with the Lord, Madhura Ras. Ecstatic ocean of joy. After attaining that stage, what are the other consequences that come? One becomes a particle in the ocean of joy, and that joy is not stale or static, but ever new and dynamic. It is purifying to the utmost. Although we are allowed to keep our individual conception, still we feel that all parts of our existence become purified to the utmost when we take the name. And this will not only affect me, but all who are connected with his Nam Sankirtan. This will experience mass conversion, mass purification, the utmost purification. These are the sevenfold results of chanting the holy name. After mentioning this thesis in his first verse, Mahaprabhu now gives us the antithesis in the second verse. When such great hope is there in the holy name, why are we having so much trouble? Where is the difficulty? Why do we not realize the advantage of the magnanimous sanction of divinity found in the holy name? Inestimable grace is coming from Krishna's side. He has given us so many opportunities with the least requirement from our side. We must have some taste, some earnestness to accept the holy name. But there's the difficulty. We have none. So what hope can we have? How can we attain it? We may be approaching the holy name formally, but not from the core of our hearts. So by what process can we really benefit and make progress? The third verse answers this question. Although one may feel that he does not have the maximum required deposit to receive the grant, still it is not a hopeless case. The very nature of this realization takes him to the conception of humility. When one begins to practice devotion towards the infinite Lord, he cannot but feel that in relation to the infinite, there is nothing of value in himself. He thinks, I have nothing to give in return. Even the minimum requirement for the Lord's grace is absent in me. That takes him to the conception that I have no qualification. I am completely empty. A devotee feels within his heart that he is not only unfit, but too despicable for the Lord's service. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, I am lower than a worm in stool, and more sinful than Jagai and Madai. Jagai Madai hoite mui se papishta purishara kita hoite mui salagista. We should not be discouraged when we think we have not even the least bit of merit which is required for the service of the holy name of Krishna, for this kind of consciousness is natural for a devotee. At the same time, we must guard ourselves from an insincere conception of our own devotion. This is our enemy. To think I do not have the least liking or taste for the Lord is all right, but to think I have some taste, some earnestness, some devotion for the Lord is dangerous. The egotistic world. If we're going to have a connection with the infinite, we must be fully empty. Our self-abnegation must be complete. Worldly attainment is a negative thing, and we must withdraw from it completely. We should think, I am nothing. I have no qualifications for being accepted or used in the service of the Lord. I am completely unfit. We must completely withdraw from the egotistic world and allow ourselves to be captured by Yoga Maya, the Lord's internal energy. A slave has no position. The whole position is with the master. Everything is his. Realizing this is our real qualification. As soon as we assert that we have some qualifications, our difficulties begin. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself says, I don't find a trace of love of Krishna within my heart. Na prema gandosti durapi meharo. This is the standard of humility, and that feeling must be sincere. It must not be an imitation. We must be careful. We must not venture to imitate the highest devotees. To genuinely feel to conceive that we possess nothing and that everything is His. That is the only qualification for chanting the holy name of Krishna. So this is the explanation of the second verse of the Sikshastakam. Nam nama kari bahuda nija sarvar shaktis tatrarpita niyamita smaranena kala etadrishi tava kripa bhagavan mamapi durdaiva midrishami hajani nanuraga. That you have given everything in the chanting of your holy name, but I don't find any attraction for that holy name due to my offenses. I am in such a position that I am approaching the Lord, and the Lord is giving everything from His side, and all I have to do is show some sincere faith, some eagerness, some desire to receive that, and I don't find that within myself. I have no attraction for chanting the holy name. Rather, I have attraction for everything except chanting the holy name. So, in the verse, in the explanation, Srila Sridhar Maharaj says, this brings us to the third verse. He talks about the third verse in his explanation of the second verse, which is unlimited names of God. So he talks about if one understands one's disqualification and one understands that I don't really have any sincerity or any attraction for the name or any real attraction at all towards Krishna, which is, we'll say, the natural feeling of a devotee. If one feels that one has some qualification, that means that one is not understanding the true nature of devotion. But if one finds that I'm empty, I don't have any qualification, even as Krishnadas Kaviraj says, I'm lower than the worm in stool, then that will bring us, as Srila Maharaj mentions, that will bring us to this third verse. And this third verse, which we'll now read, is also extremely important. This is a verse that we heard so much, always quoted in every circumstance by our Divine Master, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev-Goswami Maharaj. He always referred to this third verse. I saw him travel around the whole world, and to anyone, to the devotees, to the press, to television in Colombia, I saw that he always mentioned the importance of this very key third verse. So I'm going to read now that verse, and I'm going to, of the Sikshastaka, the third verse, and I'll read Srila Sridhar Maharaj's explanation. So this third verse, the commentary is called Humbler Than a Blade of Grass. Trinada pi sunichena taror iva sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. Trinada pi sunichena taror iva sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. One who is humbler than a blade of grass, more forbearing than a tree, who gives due honor to others without desiring it for himself, is qualified to always chant the holy name of Krishna. So repeat that, the translation. One who is humbler than a blade of grass, more forbearing than a tree, who gives due honor to others without desiring it for himself, is qualified to always chant the holy name of Krishna. Illumination. We should mainly couch ourselves in this mood. We should think of ourselves as the meanest of the mean. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has given his analysis of the meaning of this verse as follows. Even a blade of grass has its value, but we do not even have as much value as a blade of grass. We have no positive value. It is one thing if a man is not educated, but a madman is worse than uneducated. He can think, but only abnormally. Therefore, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, I have some consciousness, some intelligence, but it is all misdirected. A blade of grass has no misdirection. When trampled upon, it has no tendency to spring back in the opposite direction. A blade of grass can be blown here and there by a storm or by the external environment, but I will always be reluctant to go in a particular direction. If the waves of the environment want to take me in a particular direction, I'll try to oppose them. If you really consider my value, my position is lower than a blade of grass because I have an opposing tendency to always go against the natural flow. When we want to bring ourselves in a closer relationship with the infinite goodness, we should not think, I have no value. Rather, my value is negative. It is my tendency to oppose the Lord's grace. If Krishna wants to grace me, I try to resist. I am constituted of such an element that I commit spiritual suicide. Krishna comes to grace me, but I oppose him. The energy that is within me tries for suicide. This is my position. But a blade of grass won't oppose anyone. I have such a nasty position. We must realize that we are in such a predicament. With this concern, we may accept the goodness of the absolute truth in the form of his holy name. We should not think that the path will be very smooth. So many troubles may come from outside. When the devotees go to chant Hare Krishna in the street, many people come and shout, "Hey, you monkeys, red-faced monkeys." We heard that so much in India. "Hey, you monkeys, red-faced monkeys." So many forms of hindrances and opposition will come and try to affect us, to dissuade us from this path. But we must practice forbearance like that of a tree. Why has the example of a tree been given? It has been analyzed in this way. If no one pours any water on a tree, it does not protest. "Oh, give me water." If anyone comes to disturb the tree, snatching its leaves, cutting its branches, or even chopping it down, a tree remains silent. It gives no opposition. We should try to see how insult, poverty, punishment, or other unfavorable dealings are necessary to purify us, and with minimal punishment, we shall be released from material existence. So, we should try to see how insult, poverty, punishment, or other unfavorable dealings are necessary to pure us, and with minimal punishment, we shall be released from material existence. Through Krishna consciousness, we have connected with the highest object of life, the highest fulfillment of life. What price are we ready to pay for that? It is inconceivable. Whatever little demands may be enacted from us, we must accept with a smiling face, considering the highest goal. Whatever little demands may be exacted from us, we must accept with a smiling face, considering the highest goal. If we are really confident, if we have faith in our bright future, then we can gladly pay what little price nature wants to take from us. Krishna, I shall teach you a lesson. Once, Srila Gaur-Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, the spiritual master of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, was going through the town of Navadip begging a little rice from different houses. The village people sometimes attack or insult devotees, and as he was going to his quarters, they did not spare even such an exalted soul. Some boys were pelting him with stones and throwing dirt at him, and he remarked, "Krishna, you are cruelly dealing with me. I shall complain to your mother Yashoda about you." That was his outlook, and in that way he harmonized everything. We should learn to see Krishna in everything that comes to disturb or attack us. In philosophical calculation, of course, without God's will, nothing can happen. But in a concrete way, a devotee sees, "Oh Krishna, you are backing these children, you are disturbing me, and I shall teach you a lesson. I know how to deal with you. I shall complain to Mother Yashoda, and she will chastise you." The advanced devotees are established in the consciousness that Krishna is behind everything, and they take everything in that way. This attitude is our beacon light, for it will guide us to adjust ourselves with those things that are apparently unfavorable to us. A sweet adjustment is found there, and so we are advised to be more tolerant than a tree. We may not give any opposition, still opposition will come to disturb us, and we must forbear. And we must show our respect to others. Prestige is the greatest and most subtle enemy of the devotee of Krishna. Pride is the worst enemy for the devotee of Krishna. And pride ultimately takes one to the conclusion of the Mayavadis, the Manas. They say, Soham, I am, not Dashoham, I am subordinate, but I am the supreme element. I am that, I am he, eliminating from their consideration the fact that we are tiny and suffering in misery. All these practical things are ignored by the Mayavadis, the impersonalists, but position or ego, pratishta, is our worst enemy. In this verse, we are advised to deal with prestige and position in a special way. The slave area of Krishna. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, you must not desire respect from anyone or even from the environment itself. At the same time, you must give prestige to everyone and everything in the environment according to its position. Show respect, but don't desire any respect from outside. We must be very particular about this, for pride is our hidden enemy, our worst enemy. If we can somehow avoid or conquer this enemy, we may be able to enter into the slave area of Krishna and join those who have given their lives wholesale in sacrifice to him. The general meaning of this verse is, never seek position or prestige from any quarter. At the same time, give honor to one and all according to your understanding. A great insult. When our spiritual master Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur went to Vrindavan in the early 1930s, he rode in a motor car. In those days, this was unheard of for a saint. One day, a priest insulted our guru by deprecating the position of Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, the preceptor of our highest conception of spiritual achievement. He boasted, we are not only residents of the Holy Land, but members of the caste of high priests, Brahmins. Therefore, we offer our benedictions to Das Goswami. He was born in a low-class family, and he himself asked such a benediction from us. Of course, in great humility, Das Goswami once prayed, Guru Goshte Gostalaisu Sujane Bush Sura Gane Swamantre Shri Namni Brajanava Yuva Dvandva Sharane Sada Dambam Hidva Kururatim Apurvam Atitaram Aye Svantar Bratas Chatuvir Abhiyache Dritapara. O mind, my brother, I fall at your feet and implore you. Give up all pride and always taste ecstatic love while remembering the divine love, the holy abode of Vrindavan, the cowherds and milkmaids of Braja, the loving devotees of the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, the gods on earth or pure Brahmins, the Gayatri Mantra, the holy names of Sri Krishna, and the divine youthful couple of Raja, Shri Shri Radha Govinda Sundar. That priest remarked, we are residents of the holy abode of Vrindavan and Brahmins as well, so we are in a position to give benedictions to Raghunath Das Goswami. Upon hearing these words, our Guru Maharaj, who was at Radhakund at the time, began fasting. He remarked, I have to hear this. This fellow is under the control of lust, anger, and greed, and he says that he can show his grace to Das Goswami, the most respected preceptor in our line, and I am to hear that? Without retaliating against his remarks, he decided to fast. We all stopped eating, and our whole camp began fasting. Then a local gentleman who came to know that the whole camp was fasting managed to find the blasphemous priest and bring him to our Guru Maharaj. That priest begged to be pardoned. Our Guru Maharaj was satisfied, and after showing him some respect, finally broke his fast. At that time, someone told our Guru Maharaj, they are all ignorant fools. Why should you be so much affected by his words? You should ignore it. Our Guru Maharaj said, if I were an ordinary Babaji and heard such a remark, I could simply cover my ears and go away. But I am playing the part of an acharya, one who teaches by example. What justification do I have for riding in a motor car if I do not oppose the remarks against my Gurudev? Repeatedly, he used this expression, why am I driving a motor car here in Vrindavan? He said, had I been a Niskinchana Babaji, a saint living in seclusion and wearing only a loincloth, I would have given no opposition to this man. To save myself, I would simply leave the place and go elsewhere. But because I am riding in a big motor car in the post of an acharya, a teacher, I must defend the dignity of the great devotees. I have accepted this charge and can't evade these circumstances. I must face it and do everything in my power that such things may not go on undetected or unopposed. Humility must be adjusted or modified in its practical application. Once, when a Hare Krishna temple was attacked, a gun was used by the devotees to defend the temple. Later, there was a complaint among the local people. They said, "Oh, they are humble, they are tolerant. Why have they crossed the advice of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to be humbler than a blade of grass and more tolerant than a tree? They can't be devotees." So many complaints were coming to me, but I defended them by saying, "No, they have done rightly. The instruction to be humbler than a blade of grass means one should be humble to the devotee, not to a madman. The general class of men are ignorant. They are mad. They do not know what is good or bad, so their consideration has no value. Who is qualified to judge whether a devotee is offering respect to all and not expecting any for himself? Who will judge whether he is really humble and tolerant? Madmen? Ignorant people. Madmen, ignorant people, have they any sense to judge who is humble, who is tolerant, who is respectful to others? There must be a standard by which to judge humility. We are interested in the criterion given by higher thinkers, not the consideration of the ignorant masses. The standard of humility. Of course, anyone may deceive the ordinary public with superficial humility, but a show of humility is not real humility. It must come from the heart, and it must have a real purpose. Everything, humility, tolerance, and pridelessness, must be considered by the judgment of a standard normal person, not by the ignorant who are like elephants, tigers, and jackals. Should they be allowed to judge what is humility, what is audacity and impertinence? Of course not. Should a devotee think the deity in the temple is about to be molested, but I shall stand by and do nothing? I should be humble and tolerant. A dog is entering the temple. I should show him respect. No, this is not real humility. We must have a normal conception of reality. We must not allow these anomalies to continue in the name of offering respects to others. We must not think that we may allow anyone to harm the devotees or molest the temple, that we shall allow the dog to enter the temple, and by doing this we are humble and tolerant, we are showing all respect to others. We're not interested only in the physical meaning of the scriptures, but the real meaning. That I am humble means that I am the slave of a Vaishnava. With that consciousness, we must proceed. If anyone comes to molest my master, I should first sacrifice myself, thinking, because I am of the least importance, my sacrifice is no loss. I must sacrifice myself to maintain the dignity of my guru, the devotees, and my Lord and his family. We must always understand what is to be honored. We must always understand what is to be honored. We offer our respects to the highest truth, the Lord of Lords. Our dealings should be in consonance with that. If we always keep the highest conception of relativity within us, we shall see that we are the lowest. If there is danger to our guardians, we shall sacrifice ourselves. All of this should be taken into account when trying to understand the meaning of humility, not physical imitation, but genuine humility. It is a question of practical realization. Fame and honor must be given to the Lord and his devotees, not to anyone else. In the higher stages of devotion, of course, humility may have to be adjusted in another way for the Paramahamsa Babajis, the topmost swan-like saints who have given up all connection with this material world. But in the preaching stage, the second-class devotee must accept things differently. As our Guru Maharaj said, had I been in the role of a Babaji, a non-assertive, reclusive saint, I would have walked away from the place without offering any opposition. But when we are preaching and have taken the responsibility of leading so many souls to the domain of the Lord, our adjustment must be made accordingly. Generally, we will be indifferent to those who are personally inimical to us, but when we preach on behalf of the Lord in an organized way, our duty changes. We cannot be indifferent to antagonists. It is mentioned in the scriptures by Dev-Goswami that according to one's own particular status, these things should be taken into consideration and the necessary things should be done. He has given his decision that if the devotee has a position of power, if he is a king, and if someone repeatedly blasphemes a real Vaishnava or saintly person, then the king should enforce corporal punishment by banishing the offender from his state or by cutting out his tongue. Vaishnava nindaka jiva hata. That is not the duty for ordinary persons. If they act in such a way, there will be a riot. We should not be eager to inflict physical punishment upon anyone. Hanuman is a devotee, but he is seen to destroy so many lives. The same is true of Arjuna and so many other devotees. Even Krishna and Ramachandra are also seen to kill so many demons in war. Simply a physical show of meekness does not constitute the real meaning of humility. When there is insult to the Guru or the Vaishnavas, a devotee will oppose the blasphemers according to his might. Bhakti Vinod Thakur in one of his songs says that we should not only tolerate the evil doings of others and a disturbing environment, but we should do good to those by whom we are being tortured. The example is given of a tree. One who is cutting the tree gets shade and comfort from the tree, even while cutting it down. In conclusion, he says that humility, mercy, respect for others, and renunciation of name and fame are the 4 qualifications for chanting the holy name of Krishna. So Bhakti Vinod Thakur said, in conclusion, he says that humility, mercy, respect for others, and renunciation of name and fame are the 4 qualifications for chanting the holy name of Krishna. We are the meanest of the mean. We should always be conscious that we are beggars. We should think, although I am a beggar, I've come to beg for the highest thing. Let no disturbance dissuade me from my attempt. At the same time, our attitude towards the environment should be respectful. In this way, by becoming educated in the Krishna conception of divinity, everyone should be given respect according to his position. It is the guiding instruction in the worship of the holy name, Nama Bhajan, that we must take the position of the slave of the slave of the slave of the Lord. If you want to chant the name of Krishna, then don't waste your energy with the trifling things of this world. Don't allow your attention to be disturbed by tiny acquisitions like prestige or gain, which are relative to money or physical comfort. Remember, you are trying for the greatest thing, and all other things are very small in comparison to Krishna consciousness. So don't waste your energy and valuable time. Be economical. You have the chance to achieve the highest goal of life. So today, in conclusion, we read 2 very important verses of the Sikshastakam. They're all important verses, of course. But this is the second, we read the second verse, the second verse we've already mentioned. Nam namakari bahuda nija sarvar shaktis tatrarpita niyamita smaranena kala etadrishi tabakripa bhagavan mamapi durdaivam edrisham ihajnina nuraga. O my Lord, your holy name bestows auspiciousness upon all, and you have unlimited names such as Krishna and Govinda by which you reveal yourself. In your many holy names, you have kindly invested all your transcendental potency, and in chanting these names, there are no strict rules concerning time or place. Out of your causeless mercy, you have descended in the form of divine sound, but my great misfortune is that I have no love for your holy name. And the third verse, this is humbler than a blade of grass, trinata pisunichena, taro eva sahisnuna, amanina manadena, kirtaniya sadahari. One who is humbler than a blade of grass, more forbearing than a tree, who gives due honor to others without desiring it for himself, is qualified to always chant the holy name of Krishna. So there we heard this. Very, very beautiful explanation by Srila Sridhar Maharaj. Unlimited names of God and humbler than a blade of grass. So I'm going to stop here. I'll ask Pitambar Prabhu to chant. I'm not going to repeat, my throat is bothering me. So just sing Hari Haraya through one time, and then we'll conclude here. Later we'll have in the temple our program for honoring Lord Ramachandra. Today is Ram Navami. So you just sing.
Hariharaya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha Gopal Govindaram Srimadhushodam Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohan Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra Gadadhar Srivashadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jai Rupa Sanatan Bhata Raghunath Sri Jiva Gopala Bhata Dasha Raghunath Echai Goshai Kori Charana Vandan Jahavate Vignana Shabista Puran Echai Goshai Jar Mohita Rodash Tashavar Pala Renu Mora Panchagrash Kadera Charana Shebi Bhakta Shanivas Janame Janame Hoye Abhilash Echai Goshai Jabe Rajay Koilabas Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Torila Prakash Anande Boro Hari Bhaja Vrindavan Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Majai Aman Shri Guru Vaishnava Pada Padma Toryas Harinam Sankirtana Kohe Narottama Das Shri Guru Vaishnava Pada Padma Koryas Harinam Sankirtana Kohe Narottama Das Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol
Jai Saparikara Shishi Guru Goranga Gandharvika Giridhari Ju Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramansa Paravajaka Charyashta Tara Sara Shishimad Shila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev-Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramansa Paravajaka Charyashta Tara Sara Shishimad Shila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Dev-Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Bhagavan Shila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Rupanuga Guru Bharga Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopal Bhatta Dasha Raghunath Shad Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Premsigo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai. Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur Ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Bhagwat Ki Jai. Narottam Srinivas Shyamananda Prabhu Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Vishvavaranya Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Nirmalacharya Maharaj Ki Jai. Anandakoti Vaishnav Vrinda Ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Acharya Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Navadip Dham Ki Jai. Shri Dham Mayapur Ki Jai. Saparshada Shri Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai. Saparshada Shri Mahaprabhu Ki Jai. Shri Koladvip ki jai, Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat ki jai, Soquel Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Sevashram ki jai, Ganga Devi ki jai, Tulasi Maharani ki jai, Bhakti Devi ki jai, Shri Vrindavan Dham ki jai, Shri Radha Krishna Go Gopi Govardhan Sham Kuna Radha Kunda Kalindi Yamuna Jo ki jai, Shri Purushottam Madam ki jai, Baladev Subhadra Jagannath Jo ki jai, Bhakti Vigna Vinashaya Shri Nrsingadev ki jai, Bhakta Prabhata Shri Prahlad Maharaj ki jai, Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, all the assembled devotees ki jai, Shri Ram Navami ki jai, Shri Ramachandra Virbhav Mahotsav ki jai, the divine appearance day of Lord Ramachandra ki jai, Shri Sita Ram Hanuman ki jai, Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol.
Jai Srila Bhakti Pavan Janardan Maharaj ki jai.